Hey guys, this is Sharad with REsimpli. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about how to be confident about the offers that you're making on the properties to motivate its sellers. In order to do that, you want to use a formula that you can stick with for every single property that you're making an offer on to make sure that you can confidently make that offer. So in this case, I'm going to go into a lead, and in the lead, I'm going to go into the calculator tab and go over just the basic calculator. So first thing you want to do is you want to know what the ARV of the property is. If you're not familiar with ARV, what that means is after repair value of the property, meaning the value of the property in retail condition. If you were to fix up the property, do everything that it needed and put it on the retail market, what would the value be of that property? That's the value you want to use. In this case, I'm just going to use something directly from Zillow. So it says 111,700, and then I'm going to use 70% rule. If you're not familiar with what 70% rule is, it basically means the ARV of the property, the estimated after repair value of the property, you take that, multiply that by 70% and take out any repairs. That gives you your maximum allowable offers. So I'm going to use 70%. It gives me $78,190 allocation after 70%. I want to put in my repair numbers. So my repair number would be how much work the property needs done to it in order to get to this value of $111,700 for this property. You can put it in terms of percentage of the market value. Let's say I can do 10%, or I can put in a dollar number. Let's say I'm going to do 20,000. This example, I'm going to use 20,000. It gives me my maximum allowable offer for fix and flip. MAO stands for maximum allowable offer of $58,190. So if you were doing fix and flip to this property, and if the value, retail value of this property or after repair value of this property was $111,700, based on $20,000 worth of repair, you would need to pay no more than $58,190. You would want to start a little bit lower than that. But let's say if you're wholesaling property, let's say if I am the buyer who does fix and flip in your market, and you have this property under contract, and you're trying to get this property under contract, and you want to make, let's say 12,500 on this. So your wholesale MAO, wholesale maximum allowable offer, would be $45,690. So you would not want to pay anything more than $45,690 if you want to make $12,500 in order to wholesale that property to an investor like myself who does fix and flip at $58,190. So in this case, what would happen is you would make an offer to the seller of no more than $45,690, and let's say your offer gets accepted. Then based on these numbers, Sharad, as the end buyer, fix and flip buyer of this property, would be willing to pay $58,190, and then I would put $20,000 and sell the property for $111,700. So if you're wholesaling the property, your maximum allowable offer would be $45,690. If you're doing fix and flip based on the 70% formula, your maximum offer would be $58,190. Now, another thing to keep in mind is the lower you get your offer accepted, the more money you make. For your end buyer who's doing fix and flip, they are willing to pay this much. So if you can negotiate your number lower with the seller, let's say you're able to get this offer accepted for, I'm just going to make $40,690, then your wholesale fee is going to go up to $17,500. If your minimum is $12,500, play around with those numbers. Let's say if you want to make $15,000, then that's what you want to start out with. So be a little bit conservative on your offer. Don't start out with the maximum offer that you can make on this property. Start with a little bit lower number and then just go up it from there, but don't go any higher than $45,690. But if the seller were to come back and their absolute minimum were, let's say, $47,000 in this case, then the only thing that would happen is you would make a little bit less than $12,500 unless you're able to negotiate with your fix and flip buyer and they're willing to pay a little bit more. But if not, then you would make a little bit less, so your wholesale fee would go down. And based on this number, if your offer gets accepted for less than this $45,690, then your wholesale fee would go up. If your offer gets accepted for more than $45,690, then your wholesale fee would go down. So that's what you want to keep in mind. This is a very basic formula that you want to use in your business in order to calculate your maximum allowable offer. We buy dozens of properties every year. This is exactly the formula we use in our business day in, day out, and it's always given us the right number just based on 70%. You can always play around. If the market is very conservative, you can play 65,000. If the market is very aggressive, then you can do 75%. But if you stick to the 70% formula, ARV and your repair number numbers are pretty accurate, then you can confidently make that offer. All right, guys, thank you so much. So in this video, we talked about how to calculate your maximum allowable offer, whether you're doing fix and flip or wholesale fee using 70% formula. If you got any value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any questions or any comments, put them in the comments. I would love to engage with you on and answer any questions that you have.